This your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
LaurenSizzle.
LaurenSizzle is definitely in the building. Man. And
yes,
we have someone that has been shaking up the industry right now. When I tell you,
yes,
he's been on Khloe Kardashian, right?
Yes, Revenge Body.
Man, look.
Yes.
This brother, man, I'm telling you. He got
some revenge on. You got revenge on your life.
I gotta check that. I asked Porsche, is that facing me? It looks like it's facing down. Like I'm saying. Yeah, you can see me over here. So we got the cameras, getting the cameras. We gotta make sure the cameras is right.
I got you.
Right.
I got you. You on camera
you gotta make sure you got the angles looking right.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you get the
see
angles.
me? I got some hair.
Get the angles.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to go check. So why don't you give me a little bio? You know, I'm good. Why don't you give me a little bio of what's going on over here today with the day?
So we have that blog. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
We have fashion, beauty, lifestyle blogger Ken Butler.
Yeah.
He was a contestant on Khloe Kardashian's Revenge Body of season 2.
Revenge Body.
Yes. So I kind of don't want to give away everything because I want to, more so let him speak about his resume. So
no doubt. Now we got some hard questions for you, brother.
Absolutely, bring them on.
And you know what? This is the thing, and this is what I like about you. Before I go into the questions, right? You know what I'm saying? And this is we talk weekly, so we pride ourselves in keeping it all the way 100.
Absolutely, all the way
but
real.
But we also say that this is a safe space.
yeah,
you know what I mean? And the reason for that is because as people, we gotta, especially people of melanin,
right?
We gotta protect ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
And we gotta make sure that, we feel good with each other. So at any time you feel like, it's all good.
Oh no, you can go all the way.
I love you for that, brother. I love you for that. I'm going all the way in, right? And so, first and foremost, right? It seemed as your life was really profound. Let's start there, right? Let's start with kind of like you growing up, and then we'll go into some of the challenges and the demons you've been fighting. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's start there. Yeah.
So I think everybody always asks me, like, why did you say like on life, like you wanted revenge on life? But I think for me,
I love that you said that.
I love that too.
But because the reason why I said that is because my life started at the bottom. You know what I mean? I was born into problems. So for me, it always been rough. It wasn't like I feel like a lot of people on my show, they had one situation to get revenge on, or one situation that really took them the wrong way. But for me, I had so many ups and downs in my life, and I've always had to be ambitious to get me out of those situations. So I didn't know what else to say, because I was like, I can't say one specific situation. I can't say one person. It is literally genuinely my life, because I started off like taking care of my mom at a very, very young age, at 7. And from that point on, I had to take care of her, and I couldn't even take care of myself. A lot of people always say you have responsibilities when you were a responsibility. So for me, it was very difficult, just like I told Khloe. But I think it was a lot more. I think TV makes stuff look a little bit easier, but I'm glad that it showed my story in the right way, because it was really rough. Especially, it was times where I couldn't even take care of myself, because there was nobody to take care of me. So I always had to kind of do what I needed to do for me. So that's at a very young age that happened. Up until 14, I was put in foster care because of the issues that I was facing.
Yeah, that right there itself, like if it was just foster care itself, that's a lot to have to
Oh, absolutely. Because I was like, at first they tried to place me with a family. That didn't work because my mouth is crazy. So then they moved me to like a group home setting, and then from the group home setting, it was like it was me in a house with like 17 other guys, and then it was like the staff was there. We had a group of like 7 staff in and out, up until I got kicked out when I was like 17. And then from there, I like grinded it out. And I was homeless for a little bit until I was able to turn 18 and get my first apartment. So that's kind of how.
No doubt. Now, God bless the dead. Your parents died,
absolutely.
Right? Your mother and your father.
Yes.
How was that? Just those challenges. I believe your father passed away first.
Yes,
right?
my father passed away,
and then your mother. How was that emotionally to you?
I think it always feels like you feel parentless and alone, like I said, and I wrote a post about it on my blog, like about feeling parentless and alone at times. And it gets really hard, especially times with like birthday, Christmases, holidays, and not being able to call your parents or call people and be like, thank you just for doing what you do. For my father, is definitely different than my mother because I had a lot more time with my mother, and I appreciate that time I had with her. But as far as my father, we really didn't get that much time because I was 2 when he passed away. So for me, I'm always thinking about, oh my God, where is he, or what would he think, or how would he have done, even in situations when I was younger. I always used to think, okay, what would my dad say? And I really didn't get a chance to talk to my father's side of the family until the day my mom passed away. It was like all of them came out the woodworks. Like I already had a situation with my sister, like on my dad's side, where we talked via Facebook, and she said, hey, she believed me, of course, but the rest of my siblings on my father's side wasn't as accepting because they didn't know, like, I guess, I don't know if her parents kept me a secret, that side, but I'll figure that out when we get to it. So a lot of stuff now, like with my blog, I talk about a lot of stuff. I have an article called Deadbeat Brothers where I talk about my relationship with my siblings. And it's very deep for me because I never really used to talk about it. So now with the show, I'm instead of blasting everybody else's business and on my blog, I started blasting my own business. So it is a journey with my dad's side of the family. I do not wish to continue a relationship with my father, but my mother's side of the family, as far as like my siblings goes. But for my father's side of the family, I'm definitely interested, and I'm definitely going to talk about it if something go wrong.
That's so sad, but it's therapeutic.
Absolutely, it's very therapeutic.
Because it's not healthy.
It's not. And for years I've kept it in, and I think that's why I was failing a lot because I kept a lot in. Like I wasn't ever like, telling anybody my business. Nobody knew anything. Like I said before during the show, a lot of people was reaching out like, oh my God, I didn't know your mom died. Like, and that was like 95% of people. And then people were like, oh my God, I didn't know you were going to jail and stuff like that. That was 100% of people. And then like it was a lot of people that didn't even know I got big, like 60%, and the rest just had to work with me so they saw. But a lot of people didn't even know. I was so private. Like you couldn't even pry one question out me without me telling you a lie to deflect you from what the truth was. So now with the show, I was able to open up and really be who I am and become who I am.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to the harder questions, I just kind of want to get the little stuff out there.
Yes, we can.
Right?
Yes, we can.
And so let's talk a little bit about how did you get on the show? I mean, you're talking about these are probably the biggest names in the world right now, the Kardashians, right? And so how did you get picked to be on a show?
Well, I started off, obviously I was blogging before, and I was like lying about everything. Like I would go in these fitting rooms and take these pictures with clothes on and put them on the internet, and I started getting a following for posting those pictures. And then I started like interviewing, like reaching out to like different reality stars or whatever, and the ones that would respond to me, I would do an interview and post it on the blog that I had before, and that would bring like a lot of media attention, and then they would like the clothes. So it was very strategic. But
you just gave me a strategy.
It was. Listen, that's what I did. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. But one time I made a very horrible mistake, and I said I'm gonna write an article about it on my blog soon. But I had bought followers before, and like Instagram suspended my account. And I was like, oh my God, like what the hell?
So how does that work? Like,
you go through like a big I'm not encouraging it, you guys, because they will suspend your account, and you are a fraud to all us Instagrammers who work hard for that. But it was really hard because like you go. No, I'm not telling it. Okay.
You know what? And this is the thing. I feel like it's just so whack for somebody to do that. So bogus to do it.
Right.
And so many do it, but you can actually tell.
Yes, you can.
Because if you have 10,000, if you got 1 million followers and like 5 likes.
That's right. That ain't right.
Come on.
That ain't right.
Our follow. We don't have too many followers, but we got tons of likes.
That's right.
Exactly.
And so statistically, it pans out.
Absolutely. So I'll go back into that. So I was blogging and stuff, and then one day my real friends always knew what was going on. My mom had just passed away. I just got in a situation where I was, in a little trouble. So a friend of mine was like, listen, come out to LA. He's a celebrity hairstylist. And he was like, come out to LA because I'm out here, I'm winning, I'm doing all this stuff. And he was like, come over to Palm Springs. So I came, I took a long train, bus, and a flight because I didn't have enough to just go straight over there.
Right,
so I did all of that. I was in a hotel with him for a while, and a few of his friends were going out, and they were going to get flown out for an appearance, and they were, reality stars. They were on the show called Vanderpump Rules. So for me, I was like, oh my God, like y'all getting flown to do appearances. Y'all hopping out of Benzes wearing Chanel glasses. I was like, I want to do that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to look up reality shows to be on. So obviously I'm like, okay, I'm not going to Love and Hip Hop because ain't nobody going to throw no drink on me. And I said, but I'm going to try to find a reality show. So I looked up like casting for reality shows, and it popped up. We're looking for fat and depressed people. And I was like, listen, I'm fat and I'm depressed because they asked me to go do an appearance with them. And I said, no, like these are like big reality stars. And so they was getting the red carpet flown out for them. And I was like, I'm not going with them because I'm fat. I don't want to be looked at in that way. And plus I'm like supposed to be this big blogger. So I'm eating 2 literally big tubs of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, like just eating it. Dolce Letta ice cream. That's my favorite to get me over depression.
We don't support
they don't pay us. Listen, let me retract that. Just ice cream. Okay, we were just eating ice cream.
Right.
So then, basically, me just eating this ice cream, I'm like, oh my God, I need to find a casting. So I found the casting. I was like, listen, I emailed the people and told them my life story, like literally every situation I've been through and every stuff that you guys already heard. I told them that. The producers called me back the next day. I was on the phone with her for like 5 or 6 hours. Literally, I kid you not. I saw the sun go up. I saw it go down. And we were still on the phone. And then she said, listen, I would love for you to come in for an interview. I love you, whatever. So the next day I went over and I interviewed for it. Khloe's name was not attached to it at the time. And I just sat down, did the interview. When I came back the next day, everybody was rolling around on the floor, like cracking up, laughing, and like, oh my God, I love you so much. And I'm like, who the hell are you? Nobody should know. Right, nobody should know who I am. So all the casting directors love me. So from that day, it was like history from there.
Wow.
So we got Lady S in the building.
Hey y'all.
And she did some digging, man.
See, because she over there with the computer. I'm like, oh, Lord, what she done found? Lord, then bring it on me. Which one? Which rumor? Which one? Confirm?
No, well, I did want to know how you got on. How you got on the show, but I also want to know what made you want to even do it. I see some of these shows, and I'm always wondering how, what makes them want to do that? Because once you become a reality star, you're an open book for everything.
Yeah, see, that part I had to get used to. Right. But I think I got on it because first of all, I was fat and I was depressed and I wanted,
Oh, I don't like the word fat.
Well, I was plus size, pleasantly plumped, and plus size.
I feel better.
Fluffy, like my sister.
So from that point, I was like, okay, I really want to do this, and I really want to, better myself. And it wasn't just that. I wanted to be lit, like my friends, because I was like, oh my God, y'all getting flown to do appearances.
Yes.
Y'all doing so much, and it's like your lives are popping. Y'all coming out with products and they selling out everywhere, and I wanted to be like that. And to be honest, I was like the one that was looked at like, oh, he can't do nothing, and now I'm like a little bit more litty than him.
Right.
I know,
so
litty.
It's kind of, so it's kind of like a little revenge on that. But at the end of the day, I definitely just did it to better myself, and I think a lot of people from my show, when you do it for like followers, and Khloe really says this all the time, like when you do it for followers, like it's not genuine, and you really don't lose the weight that you're supposed to. Right. And you wind up 6 months to 8 months later when it airs, you sitting there wondering why people ain't responded to you because you wasn't real. Yeah. You didn't tell anything. Exactly. And I noticed a lot of the new followings that I'm getting, and I shout out to all of them. I love them to death. No doubt. But they've been saying stuff like, oh my God, you were so real, you were so honest, and it even opened me up to be more real and honest and authentic. Yeah. So I'm glad that I was able to make an impact on people's lives, because that's all I wanted to do, is just be an influence to others.
Now, awesome. You are authentic. Thank you. Very authentic, and I appreciate that, brother.
Thank you.
But it was a time when you was
not.
Ooh,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Now, the bad chicks.
Yes.
Right. You
Yes,
know, that's
yes.
one. That's the elephant in the room.
Yes, it is.
Chicks,
Yes,
right?
it is. Yes, it is.
Now, when did that start and why?
Well, it started, I would say, when I was right after my mom had passed. Well, no, it was before she passed away. Right. I just started when I was working in the fashion industry. Oops, sorry about that.
That's all right.
So I was working in the fashion industry, and basically I was like, oh my God, like I want to wear those clothes. I want to be about their life. I want to do what everybody else is doing. And I literally was like, this is what I want to do. And I basically didn't have a way out to kind of do it. So I just opened up all these credit cards. But they were in my name. They were my credit cards. And I really didn't know what I was doing was illegal because I thought, oh, this is my name, so it's just going to go on my credit, and I'm just going to F my credit up, and it's going to be okay. And that's what I thought. But then eventually, they were like, excuse me, you owe all this money. And I was like, oh, my God, I owe this money. So I wrote bad checks to the credit card company to pay it off. But a lot of the rumors are out there like I was stealing from stores to feed myself, and that's not.
Some of the rumors that are. And I'm glad that we're having this conversation.
Absolutely.
And it's coming out clear.
See that,
and this is why we do this, so you can kind of clear your name.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So let's walk me through a day of bad. Well, I won't say the bad because you wrote that to pay the bills. Walk me through a day of paying for something on your credit card in one of these stores.
I would go to a store. I ain't gonna say no names, but I went into a store and I would like literally buy whatever I wanted, and I was just the bougiest thing, like the fattest, bougiest thing. And just like y'all saw on the TV, like how I was like, oh, I really was doing that because all the cameras do is just follow you in your real life. You can't fake for 16 hours. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was really doing what I did, and I would just go in stores and be like, oh, I want this, and I didn't say I wanted that. I said I wanted that in cream. You know, I was really right. I was that stank one that you ain't want. You know, that customer that you'd be like, you know, I ain't working with him today because he's just too much.
I quit.
So that I quit on it, you know. So that's what I was doing, and it just was a lot, like just buying everything and just didn't care what it cost. I didn't ask you how much it cost. I told you I wanted 2 of them. Wow, you know, acting like I really had it because that made me feel better in a lot of ways because I didn't look better, you know. Because when you look better, you kind of feel better.
Hurt people,
hurt people, and that's so true. And that's all I wanted to do was hurt people.
So how did you end up getting caught for doing this? Because you went to jail for this, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So basically, how I got caught was just randomly when I was doing the show, I got casted, and this was first season. And when I got to the legal department, everything was cool up until I got to the legal department. And they were like, you got a warrant for your arrest. Oh. And the same day, my mentor, shout outs to Sharon McGinley, who's founder of Eddie's House, she called me and said, listen, the police are at my house. And it's like 16 of them here for you. Wow. And mind you, she lives in the old DuPont house in Ardmore. So it's like, oh my God, they coming all the way out there for me. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, let me get a flight back. And mind you, I was devastated because I was like, this is something I really want to do. I had to fly back home. When I flew back home, I just was like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm at rock bottom. I don't have nothing. I can't work in retail again because at the time I was working in retail. Right. And I'm like, nobody's going to hire me with this on my record. And just going through a lot of legal issues. And anybody that's ever had legal issues knows that it's the worst. Yeah. Especially when you come from, like, you don't know anything about it. And I didn't know anything about it. So from that point, I was like, okay, you got 2 options. Either you could just give up on everything you believe in, all your dreams and everything, and or you can just hustle up, get this money up, pay all these people off, and work and get back out there and do your thing. And that's what I decided to do. Like with my mom, she bailed me out of jail. So like she took like everything she had, like her whole life savings, and put it towards me getting out. And then when I got out, I was like, okay, you got 1 shot. Like you just need to, you know, hustle up. I started working at a salad store. And from that salad store, I worked every single day. I worked like 3, I mean, I'm telling you, like 3-4 days straight, open and close, like just open and close, grinding it out every single day. And by the end of the year, I was able to save up $20,000 to pay it off. Oh, my goodness. And from that point, my the casting director called me again and was like, listen, and it was the same day that the trailer for season 1 had aired. And I was so hurt. Like Will, one of my good friends, Will, he was telling me like, oh my God, like, when I saw him on TV, like I'm watching him, Renella and Dexter, the ones I'm like really cool with now. And I'm like, oh my God, I could be up there. And I remember saying to myself, I got more heart than them. And like, you start pinning that on them and it's like negative. And then like not even an hour later, she emailed me, and Sheila Collins, shout out to her because she changed my life. She literally emailed me and was like, listen, we got season 2 ready to go and we need you.
Wow.
So what do you want to say to the people who you believe? Do you believe you hurt anybody in this whole thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you like to say to them right now,
I would like to say definitely I hurt people, and I want to say I apologize. But I think the person that I hurt the most in all of this was myself. Like I wasn't the type of person that was like, okay, even if somebody said, here goes somebody's credit card, max it out, I would never do it. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. But if you said, okay, what's my credit card, I'm going to max it out and do. I was irresponsible like that to the point where I would be like, okay, I'm going to do whatever. But I needed that. I needed to get in trouble so I could sit down and look at myself and reflect on myself. That's why my revenge wasn't to anybody else. Like it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna get revenge on the person who teased me when I was a kid. Right. Because for me, I've always been that person who had a lot of fight. I'm not a victim ever, even when I am a victim. So for me, that's not my problem as other people. My problem was myself. And that's not like anybody else that I've seen come on Revenge Body.
No doubt.
Yes.
Wow. I'm kind of speechless.
You can go ahead.
So this is what I want you to do. I don't want y'all to go anywhere. You know what? We're going to continue this on the other side. This is your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
LaurenSizzle.
And this is WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at We Talk Weekly, at Charles Gregory, at Lauren_Sizzle. Make sure WeTalkWeekly.com. Make sure you go there. And if you want to find us, make sure you just look for, you can Google this and everybody know, you just look for We Talk Weekly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the other side. We got some more recording to do, but this is WPPM LP 106.5 FM. And this is your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
LaurenSizzle.
And
what's up, you guys? It's your girl Classy Lady Sparkle with We Talk Weekly. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? No? You need to go now. Go to YouTube and subscribe.
We're back. What's up, y'all? This your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
LaurenSizzle.
And you're listening to WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM on We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. And we have someone here. When I tell you, this brother right here had a lot going on, man, and he came to share with We Talk Weekly, and we appreciate him, man. So thanks for coming to the show, brother.
Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm very appreciative.
Absolutely. Now, we got LaurenSizzle got a couple more questions for you, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So I wanted you to tell us about this blogger.
Okay.
Like you're being attacked apparently by another blogger.
Well, I don't think it's just her. It's like a lot of other bloggers too. I think that she's the one who does it in video form and it just goes viral from there. Gotcha. I don't really think that it's like, I think that what happens is sometimes people and then they'll break a quote unquote story of what they think they know about you.
Right.
And then they'll just go off and just say stuff. And then I think what she did was she just saw me say certain stuff and was like, okay, now let me tweet that, or it was tipped off by somebody. I don't think that she like literally sought me out because a lot of people didn't know anything about me. So whatever source tipped her off in the beginning, they had to be extremely close to me. I don't know who that person is. I have an idea, but I don't really know. You know what I mean? Right. But I think that it definitely came from that. And then I think so forth. When you watch the show, I aired out so much and so much had happened. It's so easy from that point to take anything that I do and rip it apart. Right. And I think that that's what a lot of people do. Even during filming, like it was getting to me a lot because I was spilling out a lot. And Khloe was like, listen, if you don't air this out here, they're going to eat you alive. Yeah, and I wrote about that in my post called Trusting Khloe because it was a lot. Like I almost was like, listen, I'm out of here. I can't deal with this right now. Like because it was so much because I was being attacked like they were. But I'm not like you guys, you know what I mean? Right. I'm like, I don't, live, this isn't my life. Like I can go out and say anything on Twitter and people don't rip me apart. And I think that it's different when you're a blogger and when you're a celebrity or a reality star. I think that when you're a blogger, people praise what you do. And that's what I was used to. Right. And I was used to people praising everything I did and hanging on every word that I said. Like even if I said, oh my God, I love this dress. people would buy the dress. Or if I said, if I like this post or this person, they would follow and buy their music. But now it's like, if I say, oh my God, I like this. Oh, why do you like that? You're so cliche, you know? So I don't know what it is with TV and why people feel so attached. But then you also get people who really love you.
Right.
So it's a difference. But as far as that hate stuff, I don't really get involved in that. I mean, now I don't. But at first, when she first posted that video, I was like, girl, you what?
Yeah.
Like she said, it's stealing from. So I was like, what? So it was
I
a lot.
know. Does she have a Southern accent?
Yeah.
That's the one. Yes. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a lot, like, especially like when I met Kim and then they said, oh, you think she's God. And I always say, you got to be deaf, dumb, or blind to really think that I thought that Kim Kardashian was actually God.
Right.
So for me, I played around with it and I was like, I said what I said. But that's just playing around. And a lot of times people don't get that. So the media take stuff and just swing that right along.
Out of
and just,
context.
it's everything you say. And I'm not used to that. You know, that stuff I'm still kind of getting used to.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people around me like helping me with it, like, and coaching me through it, because it's a lot, you know.
The internet blew up when you
I
made
know.
those comments
I know.
about Kim being God.
Oh,
but
I know.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to fast forward to that, to when you met her, because it was videos everywhere about your experience when you first met her.
Right.
You were super excited.
Yes.
You loved her. Even on your blog, you have you wrote something there called Jesus in reference to Kim. And if you want to know more about, you know, his interaction and why he made those comments, they can go there and read it.
Absolutely.
But is it true that one of the reasons Khloe arranged that meeting is because you were going to leave?
Yes. I do believe so.
Tell us more about that.
Because I had a very emotional moment, like where I was like cussing everybody out and like, I can't be here. And I was
on set.
Yeah, on set. I was
Nice.
like really upset. Yeah. And I was like, and it wasn't because of camera time, because I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, it's for camera time, or oh, you trying to do this. But I was like, I really want to leave, like, because the bloggers had already had that story and saying stuff. And I was like, okay, Khloe was right, because she said if I didn't say it here, they were going to tear me up. And she was so right, because if I didn't say it there would be no, she said, we can't defend you against that, because once they get it, you know, and you don't talk about it on here, it's done. So for me, I was like, dag, I'm glad, you know, that happened. But it was a lot of stuff that I was unraveling, like on the show, like the fact that I didn't live where I say I live, which was in Malibu at the time. And I was telling people different stuff, and it was unraveling on camera. And I'm like, listen, I can't like deal with this anymore.
Hold on. So when you were recording during that time, that was when you was going through your situation also?
No.
Okay.
And that's another thing that the blogs got wrong in what they said. I think they took a lot of police reports that were out.
Because the one that I read is that you were actually on a run.
No, that is not
is
not real. That didn't happen at all. Actually, I couldn't get on the show until the warrants were cleared up. That's the thing about it. Yeah, I couldn't get.
That's why he wasn't able to do season one.
That's why I wasn't able to do season one. So that was totally inaccurate. But a lot of people said that in the beginning, and that's definitely not true. I think they just took a lot of police reports that were out there, because what I think one of the police, I don't know, like you know how like the police kind of have like blogs too. They kind of
I know they Instagram.
Right, they put a twist on it. They put the article back out. I don't know whether it's she, you know, whether it was because of what she said and they knew I was going to be on the show, and they kind of wanted that press from that too.
Right.
So they put the article back out and they switched the dates around, which made it look like I was on the run. Right. And it was during the show. And that's before E even put the press release out that I was on the show. Wow. And I wasn't able to announce it. And they were like, okay, you cannot respond to this at all because you can't, nobody even knows you exist right now. Yeah. So that was very difficult for me. And I was like, Khloe, I can't do this. I'm ready to leave. So she was like, listen, I got 3 people for you to meet. And then if you want to, you know, you decide to stay after that, at least I know I did my job. You know, and if you want to go, then you can go freely, and I ain't got to come to Philly and hunt you down. You know what I mean? And that's what she did. She definitely is like that. She has a good heart. Extremely, because she could have just been like, okay, bye. You know what I mean?
Find somebody else.
Right. I'm giving you the chance. Oh, no. She don't find nobody else. She you know, because there was 17 of us when we started, and it's 13 now. So
shout out to Khloe. Shout out to Khloe, man.
Yeah. So
go ahead, brother.
So she told me that it was 3 people for me to meet. One of them I can't really say right now. We'll see if they're able to reveal themselves, hopefully in the future. But the first person was Dexter from first season, and he had the best transformation of them all. And he also had the same trainer as I did. He had Corey. And it was like so epic for me to speak to him because he knew exactly what I was going through, because Corey is very, very difficult to work with.
Wow.
Like, especially in the beginning, because he's so hard and I never had a dominant male in my life like that to be like, no, you ain't doing that, or do this, or do that, or get in this ring and hand me this. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, I ain't used to that.
Yes.
So for me, it was very difficult to deal with Corey in the beginning. But when I talked to Dexter, I was like, you know what? You're right. And then she said, I have a fashion blogger for you to meet. She texted me. Actually, she sent the card for me. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to meet a fashion blogger. Because if I'd have known I was going to meet, listen, if I knew I was going to meet her, I would have been decked out in the finest designers. And it wasn't going to be from a credit card. It was going to be from cash. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I really did look up to her in a lot of ways, because she did a lot of what, you can say what you want about Kim. You can bash me for saying she was God and all that stuff like that. But the industry that I was going into, which is black beauty, blogging, and fashion, like she's the top person ever. Like she's the biggest influencer in the world. And for me, it was like nobody that Khloe could have sat me down with that would have been better than her.
I know that.
So
she is like one of the biggest women in the world right now.
Yeah, like so for me, it was a big deal, especially. And I do think, to be honest, I don't think I would have been as excited like I was. Not excited, but as shocked. That was shocked, excited, and crazy. If they would have, if Khloe would have said, "Listen, you about to meet my sister. I'm about to hook this up." That reaction would have been crazy. I mean, it would have been a kind of like normal. Oh my God, I'm happy to meet you. I look up to you. It wouldn't have been that, because when I walked in, literally, there was no other way I could describe it other than saying when God walked in the building, because that was literally like a moment where I was like, God walked in the building.
They took you too literal with that.
They took it too literal, and you gotta be deaf, dumb, or blind, or just stupid. I just can't even.
Or maybe all of it.
All of it, because I don't think that. I mean, maybe there's some people that really think that she's literally God, but I don't know any. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not one of them. So for me, it was like, when they bashed me for that, I was like joking, and they even edited out when I tweeted the girl. They edited out the laugh out louds in it, and they posted that, and then even the girl that I retweeted, they didn't even say, because she said something like, guys, he's not really saying that she's God. Right. And I retweeted her and I said, some of us get it and some of us don't. You know what I mean? But they didn't take that and post that anywhere. They just was like, whatever. You know what I mean? And saying that he is God, and he's saying that she's God. And I was like, okay, y'all stupid. But I'm so happy to have her as a mentor, because my blog wouldn't even be what it is today if it wasn't for her, for her mentorship. So for me, listen, I tell people like this all the time. They don't have Kim Kardashian as a mentor. I do. So I am very lucky and blessed to say that. And if I want to say she's God, which AKA is Jesus, and you can read my blog for it. Jesus. And then listen, that's what it is. And I'm so happy to have her as a mentor, my Calabasas auntie, or whatever we want to call each other. But I appreciate it.
And you wanted your blog to be ready at the same time, around the same time that the show was going to be. Oh,
absolutely.
Like the finale was hitting. Like that was definitely calculated.
Listen, absolutely. Let me tell you one thing about KB. KB is business oriented 101. I wasn't going to come on a reality show with billions of followers, and I mean billions, especially. And I didn't know who I was going to film with. I just knew it was a platform, and at the time, season 1, it wasn't as popular as it is kind of like now, because even though with the season 1 cast members, they're like, yeah, we had an amazing experience, and some of them even got veneers done, and they got like all these good things and great opportunities, but the ratings weren't really there like that. Like they weren't even really promoting it like that. Like now, Khloe like literally did a whole post on her Instagram about me. Like they didn't have that type of promotion. So
Khloe's huge now.
Yeah, absolutely. Lot, you know. So for season 2, it was a lot bigger. Right. So. Oh my God, I have a horrible memory. What was the question again? That's right. And I talk too much too.
No, I was just but you definitely went on the reality show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So from the beginning, I kind of was like, because that was literally, I don't want to call it a storyline because it's literally my lifeline. This wasn't made up for TV. Like I really had a blog. And for me, that's all I did was blog. So when you ask me, what do you do? I blog. But like and I don't want to keep going into my other cast members, but some other people have like different things that they have going on. Like some people are publicists. Some people are obsessed with Mariah Carey. Some people are like, whatever that is. And they just have these storylines of, or maybe it was just, a lot of of them are just stem from love and relationships and how they was hurt. And for me, I don't care about these people out here. Right. So for me, it's just about business. So for me, I was like, okay, this is what I'm working on. If you want to film me, I'm working on my blog. If you want to film me taking, and they were like, okay, show us, they don't ask you anything. You just film. Yeah. And I literally was working on my blog. I was walking in fitting rooms, taking pictures and living this glamorous life. And that's what I was, quote unquote, glamorous life. And that's what I was doing. So for me, that's kind of how it started. So it was no choice but to have a blog at the end. Now, the magazine, I can say, didn't come until later, because when I met Kim and we were talking about the pictures, and she's like, listen, you need to make money. So I feel like you need to come out with this, and what about, a magazine? And I really thought about it and was like, and that makes sense. And we just kept going back and forth, and then one thing led to another. And then I was like, okay, I want to have a blog release party. And I didn't have enough money at all to pay for anything because I put so much money into the blog and like advertisements, pictures and everything and logos and all this stuff, and I didn't have enough money. And Khloe was like, listen, what you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna have it. And she was like, listen, I got you on a venue. Then I was like, oh, she was like, what are you gonna give your guests? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give them water because I can't afford nothing. She was like, no, I'm gonna get you some nice wine. And just like I said at the party, I told everybody, y'all better be thanking Khloe right now. I don't know if y'all gotta think on her Instagram or whatever, because y'all would have been drinking water because that's what I had y'all drinking up in here.
Shout out to Khloe. Shout out to Khloe. So we only got about 2 more minutes.
And that's
left.
fine. That's fine.
To piggyback off that last one, what's next for you?
I have a lot going on. First of all, the blog is really popping right now. It crashed 4 times. It had over 450,000 subscribers, like people trying to just get on the site, and it crashed 4 times. So we're trying to really get a hold of that right now, and everything is great. It's back up for now. Oh, I don't know, because they running in Spain right now, the show. So it's like we're getting a lot of followers and stuff from that. And also I have the magazine, which is coming out. It should be out later this month. And we have Darnell Nicole from Wags Miami for the cover. And then also I have a few other shows that we're working on. And that I can't really announce now, but I have a few other shows coming up, and definitely we just grinding it out, and that's what I'm doing.
So is one of those shows a spinoff? Because that's what I had heard. So I just wanted to know.
See.
Yes, tell
we can't get the exclusive.
So
we
before we go, I gotta ask my last question. This is a question that I ask for everybody. Right? Now, you have to tell us, and we need the exclusive. You have to tell us,
right?
One thing that I don't care if E talked to you. I want to know one thing that no one else knows about you that you can give us the exclusive right here.
No one else knows about me?
Yeah. That you can give us the exclusive right here. I mean, I don't care about your blogs that you've been writing. You got to dig in your duffel bag.
I got to go deep for that because I
You're
just,
pretty much
I'm open book now.
Yeah.
Let me think. That I don't like people, a lot of times, and I don't think a lot of people know that because I'm a people's person up front. You know what I mean? Like I don't like when people come and ask me to take pictures. It's so weird. Like I really don't. Like I don't like that attention.
You gotta get used to.
Oh, of course. And I thought I was going to be right. I think if I was the old me, I would have loved it. Yeah. But now that I'm so open, I'm like, oh my God, what are they going to ask me? They're going to ask me for something about checks, or they're going to ask me, because one girl asked me to take a picture with her. Then the next 5 minutes, she's going to tell me something. Oh, you got my credit card number? And I was like, girl, come on.
With the jokes.
Yeah, come on with the jokes. And then it's like, I just feel like
Why didn't she say that before she?
Come on now, because I'd have pulled up. But I think I don't like people, and I think that's one thing but I do love my followers, and I do love the people who support me. But
we love them too. So tell them to go follow We Talk Weekly.
Absolutely, follow We Talk Weekly.
I see you.
Okay, I'm on live. Everybody, listen, look at me. Listen, follow We Talk Weekly
on Instagram.
Let them be known on Twitter also. We Talk Weekly,
and let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh, absolutely. You guys can find me at Ken Butler World, and there's no underscore. It used to be an underscore, but now it's just Ken Butler World. And you also can go on, and that's Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. I believe I'm KB World. And then you can find me on, you can obviously just go to my site, which is www.kenbutlerworld.com. Fantastic. And also Catch Revenge Body. And although my show has passed, you can definitely go hit up everybody else and support everybody. Shout outs to Melody, who I also shared my episode with. And I'm episode 1, season 2.
There you go.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We got the exclusive, man. You know, it's good to be who we are right now. We in a good space. Shout out to my folks right there, Antoine in the back, and definitely
That's right.
Publishers portion
That's
of
right.
building
That's
to
right.
portion. I mean,
Princess.
purpose.
Right.
And so,
Holding
yeah.
it
So,
down.
before we leave, man, is it one last thought you want to give to the people, man?
Definitely be encouraged, and just know your setback is your setup for your new life. And I know everybody says that, but that's so true, because I would not be where I am today if it was not for my setback. And just stay focused, stay grounded. Just because you don't have a Khloe Kardashian or a Kim in your pocket, there's always people who are out here mentoring you and being there, and that's there for you. And that's probably will do more for you than you could ever do for yourself, and ask for help. Don't ever forget that. So just stay positive and stay focused.
There you go. I love it, man. Congratulations on all
Thank
your
you
success,
very much.
man.
I appreciate it.
We here. We always
Truly.
going to be a fan, and you
Yes,
got to
thank
promise
you.
to come back.
Absolutely. I'm
There
going
you
to come
go.
back. Listen, when I can make those announcements, y'all going to be the first stop. I promise.
There you
that.
go.
Awesome.
And all the
After
events,
those
call us in there. So
Absolutely.
We
I
can go
got
and
it.
cover that.
I got it. We might have a
Right,
little something in
have us
Miami.
on your show.
Come
Yeah, I
on.
know that.
Listen, she's trying to get me in trouble. I ain't about to be saying that I ain't supposed to.
What is it?
I'm good. Listen, Antoine's rating me right. Okay?
I know that's right. But it's your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful.
LaurenSizzle.
And this is WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk, but don't go nowhere, man. You know, we got more interviews to do. We got some juicy coming up. We'll be right back after this. Holla.